How's it going, everyone? Bit of a long time no see. I've not done a video, I've not done a vlog for a while now. I've just not had the time, to be quite honest with you. Been busy, I've come down. I've said it before, and I've come down, just got on with what needed to be get done. Enjoyed being here and got off. So now, anyway, I'm rambling again. What we're up to today, or in this episode, because this is split over a couple of days. Getting manure. We've got the manure down. We're going to get potatoes in. I've got a little video, a little clip of how we put them in, and then I've got some mulching to do. We're sort of doing it, sort of how the no dig folk do the beds. You know, put cardboard down and then the mulch on top of it. It's wood chip. We're not growing food in it. You know, they say the fresh wood chip depletes the nitrogen, so we're not growing food in it. It's around a few of the fruit bushes, I'll give it that, but I'm not too worried about it. And it's going to tidy the edges up, the little areas where aren't really high up on my to-do list. If I can make them less effort to maintain, then it'll keep it a lot tidier, keep it a lot nicer. And it won't be like, oh no, I've got to do that bit there, you know. I can just get on with the growing stuff, which is what I've got an allotment for, really. Oh, as well, I've had a good tidy out of the greenhouse. Greenhouse is all nice and tidy inside. I could do with giving the glass a clean before we start moving everything in, but we've got peppers and tomatoes started at home, and I'm just waiting for this cold snap to get out the way, and then I'm going to start getting other stuff moved in. Yeah, I'll take you on a little tour, show you what's going on. Catch you in a bit. So as usual, greenhouse is there. Pile of crap behind it. Lawn, grass is about ready for its first cut of the year, so need to get a mower sorted. Just where I've been taking all the sticky tape off all the cardboard, taking any plastic off it and whatnot. Just running inside the greenhouse. Good manure bed. I need to give that a turn in. The eagle eyes of you. This stuff's coming through already. All the mare's tail. Looks like we're gonna have another good battle with that this year. Got a few bits going on in here, extra onions that we didn't have room for. Now these are leeks that I didn't get in last year. I might give them a go and get them in. Then I've just cleaned up pots and trays and let's had them out drying. Don't know if I'm going to use the gas fire this year or not. I might just leave everything a bit later. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. Looks like I've just noticed again, this was all cleaned out the other day. Something's been bringing seeds in and scoffing them. We did have a mouse in here last year. We did have a mouse in the greenhouse last year. I'd left the heads of the sunflowers on the top of the thing to dry out, and I come in one day, there was bits of seed everywhere. I moved the top one, there was a little mouse sat there looking at me. So yeah, he got the best of them. I've got the beds in front of the greenhouse. They're all parsnips, they're doing great. They've been in over winter. So spring's it and they've sprung back into life. We had a couple of good sized ones the other day out of them, so I'll give them another couple of weeks and I might take a lot of them out or just use them as and when. We've got manure on top of these beds. I need to dig it in and weed them, turn it in somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Comfrey's sprung back into life. Now I'm glad it's done it this way. The ones at the front of the bed are larger than the ones at the back. Now sort of, obviously sun's coming from that side, so what I'm hoping is I can get a good couple of cuts a year out of it. If I let the ones at the front grow taller, cut them right down, I harvest the leaves off them for plant food and whatnot, and then the back ones should kick up while they're low and hopefully it'll rotate through like that. Composter, bit of a wood store at the minute. I've got a load more wood, so just storing it. Like I say, we get this from work, it's packaging material. If no one takes it, it goes in the skip. So I'd rather take it while it's there and not have a use for it, than not have it when I need a use for it. That composter's getting full. That one, don't know if you can see it, that's just got the rest of the manure in it. That's a bit of a storage one till we want to start putting next year's compost in, and we'll get another roof over that. There's a bit of wood chip and a bit of scrap and whatnot on there. These beds here, more manure spread on top of them. These have got red onions in them that aren't, they never seem, for some reason red onions never seem to do great. So I don't know why. That bed's doing, I'd say really well. It's not, it's doing terrible. But then that's doing worse and that's doing worse. I need to start picking the grass out of that. Cooch grass has really come through over the winter, so I need to get on with it. Like I say, you compare the red onions to these, so that and that is white onions. They're doing great compared to them. This is the garlic. The first 6 here are elephant garlic, and the rest of it, I can't remember the variety, but it's a normal size garlic. Brassica cage, it took a beating in the storms. It blew over, I pegged it back in. You can see that strut there has come off. I need to sort that out. This rail's bent, I need to sort that out, but it's still standing. It's still standing. We've still had kale off it. We had a few swede out of it the other day, but I need to get in, strip it all out. Purple sprouting broccoli at the end. That's not half coming to life. We picked a bit off this the other day, and it's going to be about ready. I don't know if you can see it through there. You can see that bit there. It's about ready for another pick off that. It's doing really well. Potatoes. So we've got the potatoes. You can see the trenches that they're in. There is 2 rows of, so I'll tell you what, starting at this end, I've got 2 rows of Pentland Javelin earlies, first earlies. Here I've got 2 rows of Charlottes, second earlies. And then down the middle, a bit more spaced out with a bit more room's the main crop, and I've got 2 rows of Sarpo Mira. So I'll just show you how I get my potatoes in. I make the trenches with the ridger, the Wolfgarten ridger. It looks like a big plough blade. It looks like a big blade off a plough. They clip it onto the end of your Wolfgarten stick and just drag it along, and it digs in and makes the trench spot on. It's a bit of a knack getting used to it, but yeah, that does that. And then once I've got the trench made, I just go along, drop all the potatoes on top at the spacings that they're going to be, and then go along over them with the bulb planter. I'll just knock in, make your hole, drop it in the bottom. It gets it, cover it back up. It gets it deeper in the trench. But when it comes round to earthing it up, you're back flush with the top of the soil, with ground level. So one lot of earthing up, the ground's all flush again, and then it's only one more mound on top of that. So I've not got huge mounds running along after it's all been earthed up. Works for me. Yeah, so I went with Sarpo Mira. It's supposed to be blight resistant, isn't it? And we got it with blight last year. So hopefully we're having less in as well, because I put too many potatoes in it last year. So hopefully we're having less in, and a blight resistant variety is my main crop. Hopefully we'll get bigger potatoes out of it. So I'll just show you the pond. I don't know how clear it's going to come through on the screen. But the water, so we had a little solar fountain, solar panels up there, fountains down the bottom. We had that on the first year, but we still had it on, but it's packed in. I've not seen it working for a while. It should be working now, but it's not. And that was to sort of keep the water turning over, stop it going a bit stagnant. It did the job. So we put a couple of plants in. There is a lily that was down there that's not come back. I think that's had it. I had something else down here that's not come back. I think that's had it. Whatever this is with the yellow flower, I can't remember the name of it, but that is doing fantastic. It wasn't half that size last year, and it's come back after the winter. But this weed, so whatever this stuff is, when I got the tadpoles came. Rich from next door again. Rich got us them out of his mate's pond. Just had a jar full of them with few little tiny, must have been no longer than 3-inch long pieces of whatever that weed is, and it's just multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. But the water is crystal clear, so it's doing a brilliant job. We've got the water snails, they're all over the show, they're doing really well. I've not seen any frog spawn yet. I know I've seen people on Instagram and whatnot with frog spawn on the go. I'm going to assume that they're down south. Not seen any frog spawn, but I've still seen the frogs knocking about, so I'm hoping it's last year's frogs and they are still about, and hopefully we'll have a good fill of frog spawn again. If not, we'll try and get hold of some again for it. But I'm really happy with the pond area. I know it looks a mess around it, that's a big mound of grass and that, I need to go through that. But within these bits of grass, so there's a daffodil coming through there, there's another one coming through here, one coming through here. That there is the mystery bulbs again, and then there's little patches of them behind it. And so hopefully we'll start seeing coming up as well around that area. There's lilies, and I think there's more tulips and more daffodils and whatnot, so hopefully they all start coming through. The only thing, I wish I'd have started doing this in the winter, and I could have got that covered over and they'd all be popping up through it, like how that little patch is there. Sorry, I'm in my shadow. Like how that little patch is there. What I'll do, I'll keep on top with weeding that, and we'll cover that next year. We'll cover that in the winter when it all dies back down, get the cardboard over it and let the bulbs come back through. I was showing before, but the magnolia tree, it does brilliant, this tree. Made up, it's still here, it's here. It was one of the things that was on the plot when I first got it. So how long have I had the plot now? 2.5 years? About 2.5 years. It was one of the things that was on it when I first got it. And it was one of them, when I first come on, I was a bit, well, it's not a fruit tree, so should we keep it? And a load of the guys around me said, oh, it's got beautiful flowers on it, it's lovely when it's in bloom. So I thought, I'll leave it, see what happens. And in the first year I missed it flowering. I'd covered the plot over, I'd just covered a lot of it with a weed membrane. I'd covered the whole plot. I give it a good 6-month rest with the covers on. And obviously didn't come down as much because there was nothing to do in that period, and I missed it. It flowers early spring and I missed it. So, and a year later it come through, and when it's in full flower, I'm so glad we kept it. It's brilliant. Right guys, so I'll just show you what I'm doing along here now. So this area that was along the front of the plot, along the gate and the front fence, I sort of wanted to leave it as a sort of a bit of a wildlife area kind of thing. We planted up round the pond with bulbs and whatnot, and this area here just got left to go to ruin last year. I just didn't get around to doing it, one of them things. I had a pile of, you know, like all my crap was on there basically, load of rotten wood, odd bits and that, so I've cleared it off, got rid of it all. And as you see behind me here, I've started under the tree there, I did that the other day. And then we're coming forward and we're just laying the cardboard down and topping it off with wood chip. We got a load of wood chip delivered the other day. Yeah, like you say, you can see under the tree there. There's a patch of they were the mystery bulbs from the other year coming through there. So like you say, as it goes and get covered, it'll stop all the crap from growing through. And we're going to plant bulbs and whatnot through it. I've got a couple of fruit trees to come in. I've got a cherry tree, and I've got a cherry tree and 2 apple trees. One of them's going to go about where the hose is there. And put one of them in there. I think I might put the cherry tree there, to be fair, because that's where all the birds come in from, all that scrub at the back. And to be fair with the cherries, I don't particularly like them. My missus likes them, but I don't particularly like them. And you're well done to get them before the birds get to them. So I'm going to put it there as put it there, let the birds have a wave a minute, bring some more wildlife in, hopefully. Like I say, we've started doing this border here. So last year, all this border, it was just soil all the way up, and I just kept on top of it. Just kept hoeing it every couple of weeks, just kept hoeing it. And then over winter, the grass has come through onto it and whatnot. So we've done the same here. I started just before this big patch of tulips here. All right, let me spin you around. So I sort of used the edge there off them tulips and started going that way. Now we've got all bulbs in along the fence line. And these are the gladioli that are coming up here. Because what me and Rich have said next door is, if you'll notice, Rich has started moving his fruit bushes in along here. He had them all at the front and he started moving them along here. We're just worried if the fence ever goes, the council are never going to replace the fence. We don't believe that they will ever replace the fence. But like you said, so I'll show you here where so the cardboard's down under here. But if you look, I think these are tulips again. They've punched their way through the cardboard as we were expecting. And they'll come up through wood chips. So there's one there, there's another one there. I think I spotted a couple more as well. Yeah, there's something coming through there. So like I said, we were a bit, you know, if the fence does fall down or whatnot. Now we've put braces in along the fence posts. It's a bit like a dog's dick along how it's all over the show, but you know, it's an allotment, it's not going to be perfect, has it? Just worried that if it ever does come down or we have to take it down for whatever reason, what are we going to replace it with? Obviously we'll always have the wire mesh. We can put new posts in and whatnot, but we've both started planting either side with fruit bushes and then underplanted the fruit bushes with bulbs. So we're hoping we'll sort of get like a natural hedge kind of thing along the middle. You know, don't get me wrong, the fruit bushes at the end of the day, it's not going to be like a big thick box hedge that clearly defines it, but it'll be some sort of, not a barrier, because we don't want to block you, we get on quite well, to be fair, we don't want to block each other off, but some sort of, you know, just a perimeter marking that, it'll just be a nice edging along it, won't it? So whereas like, you look at the other side of the fence, around here behind me, don't know if you can see how much that post there is leaning. I've put some braces in a bit further up behind the composters and then further down. I've put some braces in, but you know, it's just one of them. If it ever does come down, we'll have something in place down the other side. You know, me and Rich, we both fully expect, you know, things change, but we both fully expect to both have our plots till we're not able to work them anymore. So we don't particularly need a 6 foot high fence down the middle, because you know, we get on, you know. So hopefully that'll take place. I know along this top end here, so where are we there now, from the gate to about here where I'm standing now, and along the front, Rich has put a load of, I keep calling it willow, it's not willow, it's hazel. He put a load of hazel saplings in last year. You know, they were just like, they just look like dead sticks, didn't they? And he's banged them in all along the front fence and like the top, not quite a quarter, just the top 2 fence posts worth. And like you say, this year, they stayed quite dormant last year, to be fair, but this spring, they've all started budding up. So, along the front, he's going to have quite a nice hazel woven in hedge, I suppose. Or is it a hedge? Is it just, I don't know. But that should take on quite well. So like in the corner, I know I've got a climbing rose in the corner, so hopefully that'll take through it and all intertwine itself. I won't mind getting a few more actually, and to be fair, that was just one of the cheap ones from Tesco. I mean, like the long tall box, it was like £4, something like that. I got a climbing rose and just a regular rose, don't know what it's classed as. The regular one's not doing too well, but the climbing one is that there behind me. I think it's done it quite well being behind the tap. So it's got a constant flow of water hitting it from people overfilling buckets, hose pipes dripping and whatnot, and it's done really well there. So I won't mind another one in the corner. If I put another one in the corner behind all the blackberries and that, sorry, not blackberries, raspberries, it should go well. So you see the magnolia tree, where is it there? The magnolia tree, that's starting to get into flower and that. So, but no, like I said, this bit behind me, I've got the cardboard down. I'm just wetting it off, just dampening it off before I put the wood chip on top of it. Let it sort of contour with the ground a bit more. So that's that area all covered off like that. That's a good thick layer of that mulch. The Did I put 6 barrows? I think I put 6 barrows. Yeah, 6 barrows of that wood chip. So anyway, that's that, guys. I'm off home now. Nice one for sticking along. Don't forget to comment, like, there's a song on there. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and all that. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.